stood out to you so far during this camp?
Oh, goodness. I think the most fun part for me is watching how much they grow over the years. So there's some that have been around 2-3 times now, like Hunter McDonald and Owen McLaughlin. I just love watching how much they improve every single year. So those guys looked really good this week.
What's this whole experience like for you as a college coach?
It's really cool because I get to learn a lot while I'm out there, but also I think the really interesting part is that these guys are a lot of the same age as the players I coach. And you forget that when you come into like Flyers camp, you think they're all grown men and stuff, and it's really all the same thing my players are asking are the same questions they're asking. And so it's really interesting realizing that the hockey's really the same and they're at the same developmental level on and off the ice as the players I work with every day.
Saw the Princeton goalie being here for the men's team. I believe the men's assistant coach was here watching.
Yep.
So how cool is it to be able to kind of help them to get more experience here?
Oh, it was awesome because I got to sit and talk to the goalie coaches and kind of ask, because I don't get to work with Arthur very much at all. And we have a brand new men's head coach, so I was picking their brain, so maybe I can go back and take some information so they can help him so he can be better next year for our team.
You mentioned about seeing the players who've been here for a few years. The fact that now you've done this more than a few times, does that you just kind of feel like you're almost building off of past concepts?
Yeah, exactly. And they had a change in staff of who ran the development program, so it changed a lot once Riley and Schultze took over. But now, like working with them, it's you walk in and it's kind of like you just step off from where you were last year. So it is. There's a lot more familiarity. It's easier transition, and they give me more stuff to do every single year. So that's always fun.
Do you get the sense that there is maybe philosophical, subtle changes in terms of what's prioritized under Riley and Schultze versus the old staff?
Yeah, I think what they're doing really, really well, what I've noticed is they're taking concepts, like small skill concepts, and then building them out. So they're breaking down, like if you watched, it was a lot of like picking up pucks off the rims, getting it off the yellow, and then they're building it into a drill, and then hopefully tomorrow they execute that in the game. So a lot of the stuff, they're taking the small skill, building it into a bigger concept, and then ideally tomorrow we see it executed in 5-on-5 situation.
Is that what you kind of pull from this to bring back to Princeton is the drills and how they run like a practice basically?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier, I got to run yesterday's practices, and normally they gave me 6 drills in 45 minutes. That wouldn't happen on my team. And I remember saying to them, the timing might be tough for me because we'll do 6 drills and it'll take an hour 15 or so. But the pace at which these guys practice is incredible, and so you can like get through stuff a lot quicker. And for me, it's taking back almost that mindset to our players. So like getting them to compete at a higher level, getting them to do everything faster reps and stuff. A lot of the little nuances, I'm always just trying to figure out, will this translate, right? Like not everything I can take from here and bring back to our team because there's just some things that our game is slightly different and some things that our players just wouldn't execute the same way, right? There's a difference. So every time I'm watching the reps, I'm like learning, or maybe we would do it differently when I go back home. So picking and choosing what I can bring back with me.
What does it mean for you with Jessica Campbell being named as an assistant coach?
Oh, I think it's really cool. Cool for women. I think that she got into a good spot and they must have done a really good job and they brought her along. So just really awesome to see more doors open for us because mostly in my profession it was U.S. college hockey. Then it grew a little bit and they started paying Canadian college hockey. Now we have the pro league, and now maybe we've got some more doors. So for me, it's just our profession is now expanding and there's a lot more doors open when really it was 36 of these jobs in the whole country. It's growing, so it's great.
I think her statement was, and I hope I'm paraphrasing correctly, was I might be the first, but I don't want to be the only. So you in your role, obviously you have your own team to run, but can you kind of, working with pros, you're sort of in a unique position where you've kind of got your foot in both places. Are you a lifer at Princeton? Would you like to get into pro hockey? There's always another step at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fluid, right? Like your mindset's one place for a while and then it starts to change as you get older. Like I really love what I do and I love where I am. And right now it's like the best place for me, but I mean, looking years out, you just never know. And it's a coaching profession is always moving, right? So I've already been there for 13 or 14 years, which is long for a coach. But I'm pretty happy with where I'm at, but yet, the more I go to this, the more I realize that it's something I could do.
As much as it is for you a good experience to go out there, I mean, I'm sure you saw there was a lot of little girls watching along the glass. I mean, how important is it for the visibility?
Massive. I mean, I think it's really neat. I also think that we overlook, I think it's important to the guys because, like, my communication style is going to be different from a lot of the men. I might use different words. And, you know, even when you're being taught in school, they actually are taught by a lot of women. So maybe they're used to hearing things taught in a certain way. So hearing it from different voices and different ways of teaching, I think they seem to really appreciate it. Like, I think I don't know why I'm always surprised, but every year I'm surprised because they'll come to me and they're asking questions, or now they're just yelling across the ice, like, Cara, what do I do on this rep? And I'm like, oh. So I think for them it's becoming quite normal, and I think that's maybe even a bigger impact than the little girls that are watching, but obviously it's cool for them to see also.
John Tortorella's been on the perch watching. Have you gotten a chance to meet him and kind of pick his brain on coaching?
We've talked a little. I don't pick his brain on coaching right now. But like we've had a couple like just sit down and chat and get to know each other. And I know he's big on horses, so we mostly talk about personal life things, and he's a very busy man. So I haven't monopolized his time, but we definitely know each other.